Today's devotion is titled Rejoice with Protective Wear. And we're on day 284, and we're on October the 11th if you're following along on the dates. And if you're reading the book of Psalms with me and you're walking through that journey, then today's morning rinse is Psalms 31 through 33. And the featured verses that I pulled out of that is Psalm 33, verses 20 and 21. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in him because we trust in his holy name. The enemy lifts his oversized bow and fires a steel arrow at Wonder Woman. She happens to see the thrusted weapon shot at her and lifts her shield, protecting herself from what could have killed her. When she does this, she blocks the very sight of the weaponry, but trusts her shield. I also think of other shields, like a metal helmet and a padded vest that an umpire would wear during my middle daughter Micaiah's softball games. I have, on more than one occasion, witnessed an umpire getting struck with a softball launched in their direction. Now, even though they are wearing this protective gear, those rapid whacks to their head or whacks to their chest can actually still cause a jolt of pain. And while these examples of protective shields stop the full impact of an object from doing really deep damage, both the protective gear worn by Wonder Woman and the shields worn by umpires help safeguard from a detrimental injury. We see a lot of shields that are in sports related, football and all of that. They have some kind of protective wear or shield over them. And God is like these shields. He is ready to protect us from increased damage the enemy wants to inflict on us as Christ followers. Now, when we get those darts, we can still feel pain when, they come, or when life throws a curveball at us. There are still times when our armor takes a hit and it's causing, suffering or discomfort or pain of some sorts. This is why we say we are not promised a life free of struggles, but we are promised that he will be present, shielding us and easing our pain. And when we go through grief and when we're faced with life challenges and even attacks from the enemy, whether the enemy is, using a family member or a friend or someone else, God sees us and he hears our cries, just like he heard the cries of David. And if we keep our eyes on him, just like Wonder Woman hides her eyes with her shield, we will often be protected from even seeing the darts that our eyes are not meant to see. So despite the darts that are meant to hurt us, we can rejoice in him, for he is holy. Rejoice in him because his loving kindness is upon us. Rejoice in him because of the hope he gives us. Be like David and rejoice. And this is why I called today's devotion Rejoice with Protective Wear. And let me read the featured verse again, or both of the featured verses. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in him because we trust in his holy name. He is our shield. And just like I said about the Wonder Woman shield, when she's holding it up, she doesn't see the darts coming. She knows they're coming, but her eyes are protected. She doesn't see them actually coming at her full throttle. And I want to challenge you. So today's challenge to dig deeper is, do you feel the enemy's weapons around you? Do you feel the enemy's attacks around you trying to hurt you? The challenge today is to rejoice no matter the darts that are headed your way. Continue to rejoice like David did. He was getting chased to be killed, but he still rejoiced. Turn your eyes to God and rejoice in him for who he is. Even if you are having a hard time feeling rejoiceful, rejoice anyway. When you pull out your journal tonight and you have your evening reflection, write down how it felt to rejoice despite what you were going through. And this might be something where, maybe you're not going through a big challenge today, but maybe you are on the tail end side of something that happened. Maybe you had a big, issue with your family, or something happened with a friend or something, and you just don't feel like rejoicing. Well, write down how that feels to just go ahead and rejoice anyway. Write down what it felt like to rejoice because of who God is. If nothing else, if you don't see anything around you, or life is just, having its way with you, and you're just not having a great day or a great week, or, you're going through some grieving process about something, go ahead and just rejoice anyway. You might not feel like it, but just rejoice anyway. And if you know somebody who's going through something and they need to hear this podcast, be sure and share it with them. Encourage them to just take everything they can and just rejoice anyway. That featured verse section, that passage, again, Psalm 33, verses 20 through 21. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in him because we trust in his holy name. Because of who he is and because we trust in him, we can still rejoice. That's the goodness. David still rejoiced. And if you are walking through this and you still don't have my devotional, down in the show notes is the link, as well as the companion journal. If you want to use the companion journal, you certainly can, or you can use your own journal. But certainly feel free to reach in there, grab one of my books or my devotional, and I hope that it blesses you as we continue walking through the book of Psalms. So until tomorrow, keep rinsing, reflecting, and repeating, and rejoicing. God bless you.